Hi, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I've created a new stitch for loom knitters called the Wavy Lines Cable. It's surrounded by a little bit of laciness. Let's just get right into it. Let's begin row 11 of the Wavy Lines stitch. Slip 1, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then knit stitching right up to the wavy line, the first of them. Purl 2. This is our first wavy line. Knit the stitches between the two lines. This is 3 on this row. 1, 2, 3. Purl 2. This is our second wavy line. I keep telling you what's really going on where we are because I don't really prefer to count while I'm doing this. I prefer to visualize the pattern, see the lines moving in and out, and I do better only double checking with the numbers and keeping in mind the picture I'm drawing. If some of you think like that too, it may help you to envision it in the way I'm describing it. So we purled 2 and then knitted the last 6. Also, this is a transfer row, and we're going to take the stitches that are on pegs number 7 and 8 and move them to pegs number 8 and 9. And the stitches that are on 12 and 13, these are our wavy lines, of course, and move them in one peg to 11 and 12. Now we're back to where we started, one knit stitch between the wavy lines. And we'll knit the return row as we normally do, purling 3 after slipping the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, knit 2, and wrap 1. It's not possible to knit it because there's nothing else there, but next row it will be. Purl the wavy lines, including the one that has 2 loops on it. Just treat them as one. Knit the in-between stitch. The lines don't quite crash together. There's always one stitch between them. Purl the second wavy line. Wrap 1, knit 2, purl 3. This is our garter stitch border. And the final stitch is a knit stitch, as it is on every row. So knit 1. And that's row 12. Now let's have a look at this pattern. What we just knitted, the 12 rows, was actually this section. You will notice that the next section looks a little different. It looks longer. It is longer because I didn't expand back out as quickly. I let those stitches stay in the position that they now are for an extra 2 rows. And that lengthens the diamond. You might want to choose this in the middle of a motif. I'm thinking of doing it like this. This will be a yoke. The person's neck would be up here and their body would be down here. And this elongated diamond will be right in the center. This one only looks a little bit longer because it started at the ribbing. And in fact, the design itself, if I pinch it together in the same manner, you can probably see is the same length, the same number of rows, 12. But this one actually has more rows involved. So if you either need to fudge in order to make a certain length work out, or you just like the variation, you can let the design rest at the inside and not move it, and rest at the outside another pair of rows in order to lengthen the pattern. Shortening it, you could do, it will make sharper angles here and here. If the immediate row after you've, well, the odd numbered row, just say you reach this point on row 9, then obviously you knit row 10 without moving anything. The even numbered rows, we don't move anything. But if instead of knitting row 11 in the same position, you immediately began transferring out here, you would get sharper angles, and the same thing would be true if you immediately transferred out here. It would look more like that, which is also a good look. If you use a fluffy yarn like this one, the laciness won't show very much unless the fabric is pulled out, either by blocking or the weight of the remainder of the garment on a yoke would do it. If you don't want these lacy holes, you're going to need to knit differently. And that's the subject for a whole other video. But here we have the Wavy Lines cable. Have fun with it. 12 rows.